Imagine you are taking a work call from home and you have 3 to 4 members of your team in the same call, and there is a working woman as well on the same call, and you suddenly hear some background noise from her side. It could be her kids, or it could be some household work, or it could be something else. And what would be your reaction like? There are 3 distinct possibilities. Number 1, you laugh it off and you just continue. The second one, you get irritated. The third one, you might say, hey, can you please mute yourself, which is still respectable. But there is also a fourth option, that is, hey, it's lovely to hear your kid's voice, or hope all is okay at home. Now, a lot of people don't even consider that fourth option, and that is how we need to make sure that the women who are doing a lot of unpaid work at home are respected and are supported, so that they are also not feeling really low and they are equally contributing and they are confident when they are coming to work in these kind of situations. Well, I'm not just saying that the stereotypes do exist. I'm also coming up with a few facts in this video. For example, let's start with the S&P 500 survey. S&P 500 have taken the quarterly results that are announced by 6,831 companies in 2021. And then they divided all these quarterly earnings calls into 2 different buckets. The first group is the companies which are led by women CEOs and the companies which are led by male CEOs. And then they took out these calls, have converted them into transcripts, and then they started doing some sentiment analysis. And they realized that the women CEOs have used a lot more of words related to empathy, whereas the male CEOs have talked a lot more about growth, performance. And it was very obvious that the teams are much more motivated under the women CEOs. And it was not just one-off case, because we were going through tough times in 2020. The same analysis was conducted once again on the 2022 quarterly results as well. And the results were the exact same, that the teams were performing at a much higher level when there were women CEOs. I'm giving you the link to the entire study in the description box. Please do go read it. Now, in spite of these kind of research results stating the obvious that, hey, women leaders are better, women do work a lot more, we still always question, do women really work that hard? And that is the reason why there is a significant pay gap as well between men and women employees working at the same level. According to an IIM Ahmedabad survey, women working at the junior most level compared to the men at the same level earn actually 2% lesser salary. Similarly, women working in the mid or senior management level earn 3% lesser salary compared to their male counterparts. And this difference in their salaries actually increases if it is at the board or at the CEO level. Women CEOs and board of directors draw 6% lesser salary compared to their male counterparts. Now, this is all just for the office work. The same survey also highlights that women on average spend up to 299 minutes every day on household activities compared to 97 minutes for men. You can see that if you combine both the unpaid and the paid work, women are grossly underpaid. And why does this happen? Because the pay is ultimately decided by men at a lot of places. And there, these stereotypes do come into picture. So it's important for us to break these stereotypes and make sure that assessments and salary increases are done based on performance objectively rather than some preconceived notions. A quick shout out to our sponsors for today's video, Odin School. Odin School has also helped multiple women transition or relaunch their careers. Now, if you are also looking to transition or relaunch your career, do check out this bootcamp on React web development from Odin School. You will be learning from the basics to the advanced topics under the guidance of industry experts. If you go through the success stories, you will notice that it is not just Angelina, but there are a lot of other types of transitions that are happening through Odin School. Once you finish the 6-month bootcamp, you will be eligible to apply for their 500 plus hiring partners. And the placement support continues for 2 years where you will have mock interviews and behavioral interviews as well. This bootcamp is currently priced at 50,000 rupees and there are early bird discounts going on right now. Do check out the link in the description if you are interested. Now coming back to the video, it is also difficult for women employees because for men there are a lot of role models out there, but for women there are not a lot of women leaders in the corporate world. The percentages are very small, and if you don't have a role model, if you don't know what is the path that you want to follow, it becomes even more difficult. It is easier to fill a template rather than just build everything from scratch. This is exactly the problem a lot of women employees face. And it's not just about the employees and the stereotypes that are associated with the employees. Even a few companies are toxic. For example, the situations that happened at Uber in 2015 to 2018 timeframe. Well, when one of their female employees went ahead and complained that she was sexually being harassed, she went ahead and complained to the HR. The HR did not take any kind of strict action. The HR said that the man in that particular situation was a high performer and it was his first offense, so they didn't want to take any strict action because his career would be ruined. And she actually went ahead and complained against multiple such kind of harassments over the next 1 year at Uber, and unfortunately the HR never took the right action. When she left the company and when she bought it out in front of the public, that is when it gained a lot of attention. Uber recruited women leadership on their board, and then they subsequently fired 20 plus employees on the grounds of sexual harassment. What can we do about these situations? It is important that the companies act first rather than delaying it to a much later date. They do all the ground checks and make sure that the right justice is actually provided to everybody involved in the situation. And as individuals, you and I, we need to acknowledge that it is tough for women out there. Of course, it is tough for men too, but we need to understand that the problems that women face are a lot more different and difficult. We need to make sure that we pat on their backs and give them the right support and strength. The second thing, whenever we come across any opportunities that these companies provide which are helping women to come back to work, or when they are talking about inclusivity or diversity, we need to go ahead and make sure that there is awareness about these events on social media, or we go ahead and attend these events so that we show our support and provide them the required strength. Everybody needs strength. Who does not? And it is our responsibility to go ahead and give that strength to our peers, to our colleagues, to our friends. And the third thing, highly recommend, please go ahead, share this video within your circles so that the right people know there is somebody talking about women in the corporate world. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you again in the next one. Bye bye.